So, I have been sick for a while, so I lost my voice. So Madhava Prabhu will sing Jaya Radha Madhava. About class is serious. Chanting Hare Krishna, if you can do something, it will be good. Because maybe some devotees really want to hear and want to change. When there's distractions, it's really hard. We are already so much distracted in this Kali Yuga. So we'll start with Jaya Radha Madhava, which everybody knows.
Rama Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Radha ki.
Namo Vishnu Shrimati Tamal Krishna Namo Vishnu Krishna Vishnu Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Tina Namasisa Sasivi Gauravani Pachayini Vishesha Sunyavadi Pashkachari Shatayini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Jananda Shavita Gadara Shivasari Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Gyan Jagyan Ganashala Chakramutamina Tasme Shri Guru Namaha Achakri Vasaki Vasanaja Patitanam Bhavai Shayimon Namaha. So thank you everyone for coming. So we thought today maybe we'll speak about a very common topic, faith. Is there anybody here first time? So come. Name? Welcome, Warren. I hope you will be able. And so I'll just speak in general, a couple of sentences. Only India is called of many gods, when actually if we get to know the Vedic literature, we understand India is monistic, like any other religion. Can we keep the child a little bit quiet? Basically, all religions, they are the same. But the difference is, with the Vedic culture, is the amount of information. Just like kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, university, all these institutions for learning. But the difference between the garden and university is the amount of learning that we do. Basically, they're all the same. So today we'll speak about faith. So looking in the dictionary, it gives two definitions. First, faith means complete trust in someone or something. And the second definition is more interesting. It says belief in God based on apprehension. You know what apprehension means? Fear. Belief in God based on fear. How long will we cultivate that belief in God if it's based on fear? So, okay, we'll leave this there for the time being. Let's go according to our line of teachers, our Vedic culture. Faith. The first element needed for any spiritual seeker is faith. First, we need seeking. We could be seeking in any direction. Some people go to drugs. Some people go to psychiatrists. People go many places, camping, nature, discover animals, alone, whatever it may be. But somebody to come to seek in the spiritual realm, it needs faith, but alone is not enough. Faith underlying with Sukriti. Sukriti means a special merit. A special merit, which means not everyone enters a place of worship. It takes a special person who wants enlightenment and wants to go beyond. Already, the person is asking question. Shh. Am I suffering? Why am I here? Why do things happen the way they do? Where does it go? And I could ask myself questions and start to challenge society or challenge established norms, which is ridiculous, because 100 years ago what was established is different from now, and 100 years from now it will be different. So why are we fighting? It doesn't make sense. So when someone realizes that, then the person gravitates towards that which is eternal, starts to realize the basics of there must be something more. Because I'm born, I will stay for some time. I will die. In the meantime, I'm supposed to get a job, to get married, to have children, and then I dwindle and I die. But as even a child or a teenager, we look around, we try to find that person who has this complete, perfect happiness. We don't find it. Honestly, we don't. Then we realize, if I have to go through all this, some of them painful, to die, what sense does it make? But I die now. So what is the point of my living? There must be a point which is beyond that what I'm doing right now, what society expects of me. Then we come, if we are sincere, this is a key word here, we come to a spiritual place where we're satisfied. If we are not, sometimes it happens, then we can go to some place where maybe, actually I know somebody like that, where she was asked to give, so the equivalent in dollars would be $1,000 to get a special mantra, recite the mantra every day, and everything will be all right. And 1 year later, I met her again. She told me I stopped going there. So if sometimes we look for something that is easy, but a spiritual seeker who is sincere starts to understand the process on the spiritual path is not cheap. It might be easy, but not cheap. So according to the line of teachers in our line, that I would say Gaudiya Vaishnava, so the first step in our spiritual journey is a faith. Is a faith that has the basis of the faith is a special merit. And it's actually, try to understand that. We all are born with faith. It is something that we possess that is not dependent on our experience. Try to understand that. It's very three-dimensional. It is not that I do something, I get an experience, it was good or it was bad, and now I put my faith in that thing. It doesn't work like that. We are born with faith. We already have faith in us. Because sometimes we do put our faith in people, a process, or a thing. We are let down, and somehow we put our faith again in that thing, process, or person. We've all experienced that. All of us. We've been betrayed. That's why it's very difficult to put blind faith. Very, very hard. Even though we have the ability to do it, because we do possess it. But it's very difficult to fully trust blindly. So try to understand. So we possess faith. We have the ability to put it somewhere or in someone. And if, let's say, we are let down by let's say someone, and we say, I'm not going to trust the person anymore. I'm not going to put my faith in that person anymore. But very often, it does happen that we put our faith again, which means faith cannot be destroyed. We can maybe move it some other place, but faith is something that we possess outside the realm of our experience. Our experience doesn't affect the faith that we possess. It can affect the intensity and the depth, but it doesn't destroy faith. It means faith. It means when Lord, our Maker, Krishna, we call him, gave us this tribute called faith. Now, when we become spiritual seeker, so first is a faith. We are not the body. We start the very basics. That most of us already do know. We are not the body. I'm not my hand, I'm not my foot, I'm not my head. But I say my head, my. So where am I? Who am I? I am soul, something else from the body. That we understand already. And progress, because this is not enough. I'm not the body, right? How do I do it? I also start to understand I am actually eternal, because we see the body is going through changes, but I feel I'm the same. And we learn about the soul. I am soul. I am soul, and that's the reason. Go outside if you want to talk. Thank you. If I am soul, how do I know that I'm soul? Because I'm always looking for an arrangement that is eternal. Think about it. We buy a house, we buy a car, we buy whatever. I may die tomorrow. But why do I do this? Because I think I'm eternal. I think I'm going to live forever. Sad. Because I do live forever. Body doesn't, I do. Chit, consciousness. And I'm looking at this. I'm looking, nobody ever looks for it. It comes. But nobody is looking for happiness. And it's never come. How do we know? Because once we find it up, we don't have to look more. It will never come. Krishna assures our Brahma Bhuvana Loke, from the topmost Brahma planet down to the lowest. It is all a place of misery. Why misery? Because death, old age, and disease take place. That's the reason why. We start to understand I am eternal, and I'm looking at the eternal, but through the body, which is temporary, it gives me pain, because I identify that body. And so I gravitate towards that which is eternal, and the practice that connects me with the eternal. And that requires a lot of faith, because we don't know this world. The world that we know here is temporary. We call it illusory, not because it doesn't exist. It's because it's always changing. That which was here yesterday is not here anymore. So this is why it's illusory. And I myself am finite, limited. Whereas God is called infinite. What does it mean? Try to think. What is a thing that has no back, front, no inside, no outside? Try to visualize. It is said God has no front, no inside, no outside. What is that? In my mind? In my experience? Nothing. Isn't it? Not no front, no, it's just nothing. Because that's according to interpretation. Because I am using the yardstick of my experience. But faith, we already talked about, is outside the realm of my experience. And I have to be able to trust 100% fully in the spiritual. Regardless that I have no experience of it. It's a very scary thought. That's why most of us, when we come to life, we hold back. We hold back a lot. It's a little bit like I am at the edge of a cliff. There is an empty space, chasm, and there's a cliff on the other side. And I need to go to the other side. And somebody tells me, just step in the nothing. There's a bridge there, it's invisible. How many of us will do that? Maybe with my hand I will try to, where? No, it's your faith that we must the bridge. We won't, most of us, do that. But that's what coming to spiritual life means. It means I adopt a practice where I don't really know where I'm going to go. But the first reaction will be palpable. Because the first reaction when we adopt spiritual practice is called kleshagni. Material sufferings stops. Not because it stops, not because I won't get sick, I won't go, I'm not going to die. No, not because of that. Because now, knowledge, I am not that. which is happening to me, because I, the soul, doesn't cause any action, nor do I stimulate any action or cause action to be done to me. I start to understand it's called being detached. I start to understand that. But also I start to understand how spiritual life works. Behind that eternal principle that I'm looking for is a person. If I choose a person, I can also come to spiritual life and only want my own good. It's explained in the Bhagavad Gita. What does Krishna say? 4 kinds of people come to me. Curious, distressed, looking for money or material progress, and the one in knowledge. The one in knowledge doesn't necessarily mean spiritual knowledge. The one in knowledge means the world is temporary, I am eternal, now I'm going to do a spiritual path. You can be in Mayavadi. So 4 kinds of people come to me, Krishna says. We probably fit in one or more of those categories. This is, we come first to spiritual life out of selfishness. It's about I, me, and mine. Now we can stay there and think it is spiritual. I can be practicing all the spiritual practices that we have. I chant my 16 rounds, I follow the principles. I do all, if I'm leaving a temple, Mangalarti class, I do everything. But all I want is my satisfaction. I can stay there. To go beyond that, Krishna says, among thousands of people, hardly one will seek perfection. So who is the one seeking perfection? The one who actually wants to realize, I am Sat Chit Ananda, I'm eternal, I'm fully cognizant, fully conscious, I'm not in ignorance at all, within my limit, of course, because I'm not God, and I'm fully blissful. And I'm looking for these 3. This is looking for perfection. It doesn't mean becoming a devotee. It's still my mind. Are we looking for perfection, honestly? How many are actually looking for perfection? That I want to get away from my social surroundings. It has nothing to do with me. Whatever is keeping me, anchoring me down here, especially when we're married, we have children, we have all that, but most of us, I have to say it, the choice is ours. Are we actually looking for perfection or just looking for a happy, comfortable, pious life? What are we looking for? And life after life, a pious life, again and again, a pious life. We'll take birth again, pious, but take birth again. Hardly one is looking for perfection. So even the person looking for perfection is still on a selfish level. And among thousands of perfected beings, Krishna says, hardly one knows me in truth. So what is above perfection? Relationship. That relationship with Krishna. Now, do I want it? Do I? Am I ready to sacrifice? Am I ready to do what it takes to want that relationship with Krishna? Think about it deeply. It starts when we actually start to think in a 3-dimensional way, not just linear, this is good, this is bad, I do this, I don't do that. No. The 3-dimensional way. Krishna is a person. He's a person, Prabhupada says, we can see face to face in this lifetime. Are we going to do what it takes to have? If you want, He will make it easy for us to have this relationship with Him. That first step will depend on us, nobody else. Prabhupada mentions the experience with Krishna is direct. I was surprised when I read, because I thought always it goes through Guru. But Prabhupada says it's direct. Because Guru cannot fly for us. Guru cannot eat for us. Guru cannot swim for us. He teaches us how to. I have to swim in the deep waters of the sea. I need an instructor to teach me how to. So without him, I will drown. But he cannot swim for me. The swimming experience, the learning process is directly mine. Prabhupada says the experience with Krishna is direct. If I want, Krishna will reciprocate. And it doesn't mean he reciprocates in the way that I imagine. That's where the other problem, other obstacle comes. Why? I've been doing so much, and then that thing happened to me. Actually, in 2020, when everything closed down, I was talking to one person whom I knew very well. And so there was no job. The person had villas in the southern part of Mauritius, where it's really beautiful. People would come kite surf. They would rent his villas. No one was there. So really, he was on zero. There is zero in life. And then he goes, where is Krishna? I've done so much. Where is Krishna? Why? So Krishna just was there for the battle of Kurukshetra, and now, where is he? Nothing. So you see, again, it comes to that point. If we actually want Krishna, he might not be the Krishna of our imagination. Think about it. Even though Draupadi, Subhadra are very, very dear to him, how was Abhimanyu killed? By deceit. By deceit, 7 Maharatis surrounded him while he was not looking. Someone was killing the protectors of his wheels. Someone was killing his charioteer. Someone was breaking with an arrow his thread. Someone was breaking his bow. From everywhere they attacked him at once. Finally, at the end, the son of Dushashan comes with a mace from behind, strikes him on his head. He falls down dead. That's the son of his sister Subhadra. Do we understand Krishna? We don't understand Krishna. We don't understand how the spiritual works. That's why we are baffled all the time. That's why it's very hard to put faith. We are used to seeing results. Even if it's bad, at least it's a result. I tried something, it didn't work. At least it's a result. But on the spiritual platform, what would be the result? There is a few that we can check on ourselves. We can use this. So when I start to we start to see that we develop a sincerity in chanting. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm chanting really good rounds. It means I want to chant good rounds. I would like to. And I start to make some arrangement. In my house, this little corner is sacred. I will go there. There's no windows there. My phone will not be there. At least maybe 2 rounds. I do it. Just for the sake of Guru and Krishna. Not me. Maybe I have to check my phone. Maybe I have whatever. But that 20 minutes, whatever it is, it's not about me. I start to remove myself out of the equation. Because remember, over and above perfection is relationship with Krishna. Relationship means it's about the other person. It's not about me. That's why we get all these problems in this world. Very much. Because we're always in the center, like Giraj Swami said in Sadhu Sangha. He was mentioning, we are all having our little movie where we're the main hero or heroine, and everybody else is a supporting cast. And when everybody else has the same movie going on, of course it's conflict, big conflict. But when we start spiritual life, what we start to realize, what we learn, what is our size? What is it? I take out my hair, the bulb, I divide into 100, each 100 part into 100. What is my size? My size is invisible. Why am I so puffed up? So the whole thing about the reality of spiritual is humility. Unfortunately, in this world, right now where we're living, because 100 years ago people did still cultivate humility. You know, it was a world of service, a world of being humble. Now even the words that we use, selfie, followers, Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim, how many followers do you have? Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim. I mean, how do we live this? There's a reality here in this Kali Yuga, which we have to fight constantly. And it cannot be accommodated in spiritual practices. It's not possible. I cannot be pushing myself. The only person who pushes himself is God. I cannot be in competition with him. Then I will have to take birth here again and again to be a small God, which probably I will be for a small while. I become the president of a big country or the dictator of another country, and I'm God for a little while. And then I die, and then I start again. So we have to decide. Spiritual life is not force, has never been. It's not out of fear. Faith, like that dictionary meaning, is not belief in God out of fear. There's no fear. He's accompanying us, life after life, out of love. Out of love, he sends people to tell us what is the process. And also to tell us, stop suffering. It's a big suffering here. So we have to decide the degree of our commitment and involvement in spiritual practices. Simple thing. We don't have to climb the Himalayas. When I chant rounds, I do my japa meditation. How do I do it? If most of it is really so la la, you know, I mean, maybe try a couple of them really sincere, with determination. We try. And we start to realize my smallness. When I start to realize my smallness, I have no enmity with anybody. It's easy. And another thing that I start to realize, if actually I want to love Krishna, who is a person, I want to quote this verse. I do all these notes and I don't remember where they are. Causeless devotional service is unmotivated by sense enjoyment, perfection, or liberation. Try to understand that. Causeless devotional service really has not an iota of me, of I, me, and mine in it. It is unmotivated by enjoyment, perfection, and liberation. And he who is freed from all these contaminations brings Krishna who is very funny, under control. This is from Madhya Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita, verse 20-29. Krishna, who is very funny, under control. He's got a personality, Krishna. He's a person. The desire to want to know him would be an indication that I am actually progressing. There's actually a reciprocation from my spiritual practice. The desire to want to know Krishna. Prabhupada says, we have to try and know Krishna. And we know Krishna from Krishna himself, especially in the Bhagavad Gita. And once we know Krishna, he says, to the extent, we can't know Krishna. He's unlimited, we're very limited. But once, within our limit, we somehow get some inkling of who Krishna is, Prabhupada says. Once we do know that, if we are fortunate, Prabhupada says, what happens? If we are fortunate, what happens? We become an associate. What do you think happens? If Prabhupada, that's what I thought when I was listening to the lecture. Because Prabhupada makes a slight pause. If we are fortunate, we surrender. Doesn't mean we really know Krishna, we get to see Krishna. Because he said, why do we surrender? Why would we surrender to somebody we don't know? Does it make sense? Why would we surrender to somebody we don't love? We surrender to somebody we know. And we start to see Krishna happening in little things. Krishna is very funny. One time, I was very sick. We were talking about economy because they don't have much money. So one way was economy, the return way was business. It's a long flight. Zurich to Dubai, Dubai to Philippines, Manila. And the flight was full. But somehow, I was like, oh my God, Krishna, please, I don't make some rent. So somehow, I heard the captain say, boarding is complete, and between us, there was no boarding. I said, good. Now I can lie my head on Madhava's knees and I can just sleep. But then from behind, I hear this voice. But look at me, I'm like an elephant. And then, like, who is talking? And suddenly this skinny little Filipino woman, she comes with the flight attendant who says, here, you can sit here. I was just so happy. Krishna, we look behind, this man is large. So large, he takes 2 seats. And I was really angry because he should be paying for 2 seats. He couldn't walk like facing. He had to walk sideways. He was so large. He was like an elephant, poor man. And I'm like, why? Krishna is very funny. And the whole flight, I was miserable. We get to see Krishna in little things. Even the negative, where we are not happy, we are happy. Because at least he has noticed us. Once somebody, a long time ago, one of the gurus, he was giving a lecture. He said, if nothing is going wrong in your life, nobody is giving you any problems. There are no obstacles in whatever you're doing. You must understand, you are such a big rascal that not even Maya cares. So those little tricks, what does Krishna say? What does Krishna say? When I especially like someone, what do? I give the person trouble. So these are little things that makes us close. Because once we overcome the mind and we are determined, Krishna, you won't get rid of me. It makes closeness. We start to get close to the whole process of devotional service. So I'll stop here. Madhava Prabhu will start Kirtan. Or if anybody would want to contribute something, a question or some comment. Yes, Prabhu? Very scary. I don't know. It's very personal. It's like one devotee told me, Queen Kunti prays, let calamities come again and again, because seeing the calamities means seeing you. Devotee told me, I never pray that. I will never pray that. This is a very advanced stage, right? You have to know, we are all adults. We've been practicing. We know ourselves, our weaknesses, our failures, our inadequacies. And Krishna is a person, mostly will never give us something we can't override. Almost never. Because the tests on one person, like what Prabhupada went through, most of us would have abandoned. Even he was going again and again to the shipping yard or shipping company. When is the next boat to India? When is the next boat to India? He was thinking so many times, I should go away from this He didn't. So, who amongst us has been through such a situation? We haven't. I joined temples. When I joined, there was already a temple established. I did not have to go and open a temple, like Prabhupada told his Western devotees. Go to England, go here, go to Germany, go to France, open temple after 6 months. I don't think we can digest, we understand that. At that time, nobody knew. Maybe they knew Om. But now most people in yoga places, when we go to do yoga, sometimes we see what they have been instructing to their crowd. Once we went to, in Switzerland, air yoga, they were explaining what is brahmacharya, sadhana bhakti. I have to do my sadhana. I don't know what sadhana they do. But they know so much about Vedic culture and the application of it. Whether they do it or not is another question, but they do it. I mean, now it's relatively easy. But in the 1960s, try to imagine. So we will never get that kind of, a little bit is good, because then we can choose Krishna. If everything goes well, it's easy to be Krishna conscious. Very easy. Anybody else wants to say? Yes, Prabhu? Yeah, actually, it's also part in what I wrote down. Like I said, I don't know why I write down, I don't speak about it. Menial service is so important. We cultivate relationship with Krishna. Chanting is one, but if we chant, it is said in here, what I wrote. If we take to Nama, automatically there must be service. Otherwise, what are we chanting? Oh Krishna, please engage me in your devotional service. So if it's not happening, we're not chanting Hare Krishna. I don't know what we're chanting. It could be something else. Or our mind is so engaged in something else that Krishna has no space to come. Because we're chanting, we're inviting Krishna. And this is something we do internally. Really go somewhere where there is nothing that is distracting us. It is not contrived. One time we were in Australia, and I was giving the Bhagavatam class, and it was very new bhakta. It must have been very new, because one side was shaved, the other side was very long hair. So obviously it couldn't have been, He told me, he was saying that when he chants Hare Krishna, he goes to the washing machine when it's spinning, and he puts his hand on the spinning washing machine, and the vibration enters his body. Like that, the vibration of the mantra is entering his body. I did not know what to say to that. It's very new. You don't want to discourage somebody very new. If it works for you, then this is very external. It doesn't work like that. It will never work like that. We can't contrive an experience. It's not possible. So how do we... Shh, it's a bit too loud. A bit lower. So how do we start to create a relationship? It's always us first. You see, that Krishna says, Krishna gives us complete independence. It's something, whatever. We come in and tell, what if there's some flowers here from the garden? Nobody has me. I just pick it up and throw it in the garbage. Nobody has to know. There doesn't have to be publicity about it. So menial service is very important. Very important. Actually, you want to say about Indra? Okay, Madhava knows. He's told that so many times. Indra Prabhu used to do menial service by cleaning the brahmachari, the toilet of the brahmacharis in Vrindavan. I mean, ladies would know, as a race, men are not very clean. Now think about the brahmachari toilet in Vrindavan, in India, where everybody is about the caste system. Oh, it's not my caste, I will not clean the toilet. But I don't sit on it though, but I could not understand that. I ended up go with gallons of acid, clean the toilet of the brahmachari. Not once, many times. And Madhava said the one time that he went with him to clean the toilet, actually he didn't want to go. The first time Indra told him, let's go clean the toilet. Madhava said, what? I never cleaned toilet in my life. Even my mother's toilet, my home, I never cleaned. Now the brahmachari toilet, never. Then he saw Indra with his gamsha, gallons, gloves, acid. He thought, oh no, a Prabhupada disciple is going to clean toilets. He sits down in one place, he's chanting Hare Krishna, he never goes anywhere. No, I'm going to go and help him. For 3-4 hours, they were chanting. Indra was chanting while cleaning the toilet. It was a very blissful experience. When I joined the temple, first thing you clean. That's what we do. You know, you are a rookie. And Bhakta Bozo just joined. You go and clean the arm, you go and clean the toilet. Clean is cleaning the heart. In Vrindavan, when the devotees started to employ workers to clean the temple, Prabhupada, why are you letting the workers take away your devotional service? Many times we don't understand when we come here. And many times, especially when we're very new, we think, okay, I know a little bit now. Gopis are the highest. I want to be a gopi, actually. Oh, no, Manjari is the highest. That's what I will be, Manjari. So from the material world, we come with the concept of ambition and climbing the ladder, career. That's how we come to Krishna consciousness. It doesn't work like that. One of the lectures of Indra Swami, he actually the first I heard that. There's this verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think in the CC, that Radharani is talking to Krishna saying, though you're here, I am here, but I'm looking to go in Vrindavan in the kunjas for our pastimes. Only 3 people understood this verse. Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and anybody? Madhavendra Puri. Yeah, I know, it's very rare. That was a fantastic class that Indra Maharaj gave. And I remember it was in Vrindavan in 2021. Madhavendra Puri. Do you know who is Madhavendra Puri in Krishna Lila? A tree. A kalparika tree. Does anybody want to be a tree? Do we understand spiritual life? How does he know that verse? He is the root of all kalpavriksha tree in the kunj. It's so intertwined. Not even sunlight comes in. Not even the air comes in. Nobody can come. There's only Radha and Krishna. So who knows what's going on? The tree. Root of all kalpavriksha tree. Not even the manjaris, the gopis know what's going on. Do we understand spiritual really? Reassess ourselves. What do we understand? nothing. From that form of understand nothing, I can be Chinadapi Suni Chena. I can chant Hare Krishna in a humble state of mind. Because I know nothing. So, it's very, if we want to go deep, it's our choice. It will be revealed to us. So, through classes that we missed when we read Bhagavad Gita, now we just realize that through different ways revealed to us. Right. So now we will stop here. Madhava Prabhu will start chanting again. We cannot say it enough. The effort is our own individual effort. You will get what you will get, not because of a Kirtan leader, because of what you eat in it when you are chanting Hare Krishna. We have to try to hear mantra. If the mind has gone, do not beat ourselves. I am fallen. I am very inadequate. I don't beat myself. I let it go because I'm not in control. If I'm beating myself, means I want to be in control. I'm not in control. I let it go and I try to listen to the other mantra. Maybe I'll only hear Hare. Maybe I'll only hear Hare Krishna, then it's gone again. But I try again, bring it back. Don't beat ourselves. Don't be depressed. Don't be despondent because it's not a career. There's no ambition here. I'm just trying my best. Whatever I can, I offer to Krishna. Hare Krishna. Vanchaka Pachavasta. Kipasimesha Patimamashwana.
Ma Vishnupadaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitya Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharani Nivishesha Shunyavadi Vastatari Satarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Everyone, please. Hare Krishna Hare Everyone together, a little louder, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time again, a little louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Everybody, a little louder, please. One more time again, a little louder. Hare Krishna, everybody please chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone together, a little louder. I can't hear you. One more time again, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody, a little louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Bolo, 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 bolo. Everybody, a little louder. One more time again, a little louder, everybody. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. One more time again, a little louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Everybody, a little louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody, please shout. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo, 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 everybody chant. One more time, a little louder. One more time, everybody. I can't hear you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Gaura Premanande, Shri Prabhupada ki, Shri Gaurindhai ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki, Shri Radha Kunja Bihari ki, Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ki, Gita Govardhan ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Shri Mayapur Dham ki, Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki, His Grace Indra Prabhu ki, Lord Bhakta Vrinda ki, Lord Premanande. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Kevalam, Kavanasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva, Gatirandita. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Kevalam, Kavanasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva, Gatirandita. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Kevalam, Kavanasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva, Gatirandita. Shri Harinam Prabhu ki, Lord Bhakta Vrinda ki, Lord